Okay, hi, so this is Tony Messer here at Pickaweb, and today I have a very special interview for you. I'm speaking to Ella Houghton and Natalie Miles. Now, Ella and Natalie, along with their two other crewmates, Laura Penhall and Emma Mitchell, they are members of the Coxless crew, and they're four ladies who are taking on a very special challenge. They're going to row across the Pacific Ocean. So Ella and Natalie, a very warm welcome to you.
Thanks, Tony. Hiya.
So tell it, it's a huge goal. I mean, they don't come any bigger than the Pacific Ocean. So, how did it all start? Where did you all meet? Whose idea was it?
Well, it was an original idea drummed up by two amazing ladies, Laura Penhall and Annabelle Hancock. They decided that they were going to row an ocean, and Ella and myself found out about the row when they were advertising for two new crew members.
Yep.
I found out about it by a website called Escape the City, yep. And I think Ella found out about it on the BBC or the Metro.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter originally, and then of course it was on the BBC, and we went through an application process and got through, and eventually made it into the final team. And unfortunately, Annabelle's no longer part of the team, but yeah. We've got obviously Emma, who's come on board a couple of months ago. So
now reading Emma's bio, she's the one that she's got a lot of survival training and a lot of rowing experience, hasn't she? So she's going to be a key member, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Emma's definitely got the credentials. She's been out in Borneo in the jungle doing, I think, left for about 3 days just to fend for herself with a machete. So she's got those amazing skills, and also Emma's adds a brilliant dimension to the group because she's more introverted than us, so it's a really good balance.
So let's just get something clear. This wasn't a night out when you decided, come on guys, let's row across the Pacific. This has all been sort of planned. Some people, they'll come away from a night out and they think, yeah, we'll go and run a marathon or something like that. But this is the big one, isn't it? This is something that you've planned for. It's a huge goal. Yeah,
it's a massive goal. It was definitely not a quick rash decision after a drunken night out, but it's been 2 years in the making, and we are now gearing up, ready to leave for next year, a weather window between April and June in 2014.
So April to June 2014, that's the target start date then.
Yeah, just because of the weather, really. You could leave later, but you wouldn't be able to arrive at the other end later, if that makes sense, because the weather just gets too...
So the route, you're heading off from California first, is it?
Yeah, so we leave from Long Beach, California, yep. And then we go to Hawaii, and then on to Samoa, and then Samoa onto Australia. It's 8,446 miles long, so quite a long time, and it takes about 155 days approximately of rowing. We stop in Hawaii and Samoa to restock the boat, yep. with food, fix the boat, and also do some media and press along the way.
Brilliant stuff. So now, is this a first? Has this been, this type of challenge, has this been done before, the Pacific?
The Pacific's been done a couple of times, but the 3 world records we're going for are, it's never been done as a 4-person boat, so we'll be the first 4. It's never been done as a female crew. Yep. It's been done by a solo lady, but she did it in 3 separate stages, 1 each year.
Yep.
And also we're going to be going for the fastest Pacific Ocean crossing of that general route. So it will be a world first, yeah.
And how long, with including the stops, how long do you estimate that it will take end to end then?
Yeah, it will take approximately 5 to 6 months. So it's going to be a really long time. It's not going to be a quick haul across there.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, why don't you just take a plane? This is crazy.
Yeah, or a nice liner or something like that.
Yeah.
So, have you spoken to any of the people that have done it before? You're obviously aware of all of the sort of. It's not just a physical challenge, is it? I'm sure it's as much psychological. It's in the head and in the mind as much as anything.
Yeah, 100%. You can be as physically fit and strong and physically prepared for the row, but in the end, it's all going to be about mental preparation. We've got an amazing sports psychologist on board, Keith Goddard, from a company called Zeus, and yeah, he's phenomenal. He's been working with us really closely, getting us into that mental headspace, learning each other about a team, and kind of prepping ourselves for what we can face. So yeah, it's been great to kind of have him on board and help us.
And you mentioned other people. We've spoken to a lot of people, and it's really great to be able to draw on other people's experiences of ocean rowing, especially, strangely enough, when things have gone wrong, because it's an opportunity to learn from that. So we're in great hands with the people that we're connected with, really.
Well, I did watch, was it Ben Fogle and James Cracknell when they went across the Atlantic and they sort of videoed it? And I mean, I really felt for those guys. It was amazing. And can you tell us about some of the sort of psychological and that type of training the sort of skills that you're learning?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things we'll challenge and we'll face is sleep deprivation, because we're rowing kind of 2 hours on, 2 hours off. It's going to be that knowing that you're actually never going to get a full night's sleep, and that you could basically learning how to kind of catnap, but also how your body reacts to that, and also then how that interacts with the team dimension as everyone gets tired and has sleep deprivation. So we have been doing and are going to be building up even more to the start line, practicing that sleep deprivation as much as we can, which kind of will help with mentally kind of knowing what we get, what we can expect from that, and how our bodies and our minds are going to be affected by that sleep deprivation. We're also doing a lot of mindfulness techniques, which is really exciting. So using mindfulness basically so we're all in the right headspace, and we know and can draw on those techniques to use in the stressful and difficult times when we're out there in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, I mean, it's the ultimate sort of team environment. As you say, you can't just sort of say, "Oh, I've had enough. That's it. I'm going home." You're out in the middle of. I mean, I don't need to tell you that. You know all of that stuff already. But I think that's a really key thing, is that the whole sort of team and the mental side of things. That's where you've really got to be well prepared. Now, tell us a little bit about the boat then, and the equipment that you're using. I think the boat. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has it got a name yet?
It's unofficially named Doris. I don't know how it came about. A few suggestions, really. I think it's Goddess of the Sea.
Goddess of the Sea. So we've got Bounty of the Sea in Greek. So we thought, what an appropriate name, and it's got kind of girly and a bit quirky, so a bit like us.
And you see yourselves then as goddesses of the sea?
Maybe once we've completed it. Yeah.
But I think
she's the Doris, she's 29 foot in length. She's got a front and a back cabin. The back cabin is the bigger of the two. And then you have two rowing positions. As Nat said, it's two people rowing at all times, unless, of course, there's a very bad storm, and then everybody has to get into the cabins and batten down the hatches. She's in Christchurch, Rossiter Boat Club. They the boat builders, they've been really kind and have built that for us, and at the moment she's being fitted out with the solar panels, all the electronics. Ray Marine have sponsored our electronics, so that's been amazing. Sort of the navigation equipment, we've obviously got to have a sat phone so we can stay in communication, and the batteries are all being put on. So I think she's going to be ready by the end of the month to take out into the sea, so it gives us plenty of time to practice, which is brilliant. And what sort of practice are you sort of sea type practice are you doing then? You're going to be sort of, I saw a guy who swam around Britain yesterday, didn't he? You're going to be
Sean Conway.
You'll probably do that in a couple of days, wouldn't you? So.
I mean, he's an absolute legend. I mean, looking at those pictures, to swim from Land's End to John O'Groats is insane, absolutely nutty. But our sea trials will start at the end of the month. It will basically be taking the boat out, working out where the best places for the equipment, knowing about knowing how she responds in the sea, kind of starting to do some bigger trips. So 24 hours, 72 hours. We also, the boat's self-righting. So what that means is that when we capsize, it's ballasted, so it self-rights in the sea. So what we're going to be doing is taking her out into the sea with a crane, and testing that she basically does self-right.
Yeah.
So all four of us will be inside the boat, experiencing what it'd be like to capsize in her.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Oh, it sounds like you got all that covered. That's important. Now,
Yeah.
I know that we feel free to edit this question out. Has the boat got a loo on it?
No, it doesn't have a toilet. The toilet is a bucket.
Right. Okay.
And we've also been sponsored by Shiwi, so that's always a talking point.
It's a bucket and chuck it.
Right. Okay. Well, I think we can move on from that particular point. Now, what about friends and family? You know, what are they all thinking then?
Yeah, well, most of our friends and family, although understand that we're pretty, four women who are determined, have a lot of passion and a drive for life, but they do think we're slightly crazy and nuts. I think for a lot of friends and family, it's taken a while to get their head round what we want to achieve. They are highly supportive and, have our backs 100% and want us to, achieve at this. But obviously at the same time, it's taken a while for them to come to terms that we want to basically test ourselves and put ourselves at risk in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So it's quite tricky.
And on the journey, how will you be staying? Will you be staying in contact with everybody?
Yeah, so the main person we'll be in contact with is Tony Humphreys, and he's our logistical support. He's basically supported over 240 ocean rows, so we're in excellent hands.
Yep.
And that will be about 15 minutes a day, really, across the day, just catching up, talking about what weather fronts are coming in, checking we're on track, navigation. Just him seeing if everything's okay on board, and then of course maybe once a week there'll be an opportunity to talk to family and friends, just for 5 minutes or so. And we're actually at the moment we're trying to work out if there's a way that we can do some video footage and get that back home, so people can stay really connected with the row. And it'll be excellent for people to be able to follow it to that nth degree. It's never quite been done with video footage.
Well, basically we're trying to get the specific equipment on board that we can upload footage, and our ultimate goal would be able to do a Skype call from the middle of the Pacific Ocean, which would be amazing, that we could Skype back and use that footage, which would be great.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. And will your family, for example, will they be able to come out maybe to Hawaii and Samoa and sort of meet you on the stop-off legs?
Yeah, we've got lots of friends and family who've all said, oh, we want to come to Hawaii, we want to come and see you there. So I think for the first leg it will be great to know that, when we're rowing, we're kind of, we can see our friends and family at the end. I don't know cost-wise whether they'll be able to fly out to every single place along the way, but hopefully they'll be able to come and see us out in Australia too, and see us and meet us when we get to the other side, which would be amazing.
Now, and it's an interesting one as well, I guess, because I think everyone will have different preferences whether they want their family at the different stops, because ultimately when we reach Hawaii it'll have been so hard already, and knowing that you've actually still got further to go than you've already just done, it'll be really tricky. It'll be really, really hard to get back in that boat. So having family there, can go one or two ways, really. So it's an interesting one.
No, I can definitely understand. Thinking about it now, as you say, you're a third of the way through there, but I'm sure you'll be resolute and you'll jump back in that boat and
100%.
carry on paddling.
Definitely, stopping in Hawaii is not an option. It's always about getting the whole way across to Cairns, Australia.
Yeah. Well, just make sure. Well, what you need to do is book yourself into a grotty hotel in Hawaii, in a really noisy part of town, and you'll feel you need to move on from there. So that's my little tip, anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks, Tony.
Now, tell us about you've got a couple of very good charities that you're supporting. You've got Walking with the Wounded and Breast Cancer Care. Tell us a little bit about that then.
Yeah, two amazing charities that we're raising money for during the row. Walking with the Wounded, who, I mean, most people know about their amazing adventures that they do with, Prince Harry, Harry's Heroes, going to North Pole, Everest, and they're just about to embark on a trip to the South Pole, which is pretty phenomenal. But they use their adventures to raise money for the retraining and re-education of injured servicemen and servicewomen once they've come back from being in the front line. So the work they're doing is pretty phenomenal. So we've been inspired by them to raise some money for them during the row. The second charity is breast cancer care. 1 in 5 women get breast cancer, which is just a crazy statistic. So for us, it was we're taking on this amazing life challenge, but these women are daily facing a massive life battle. So we wanted to raise some money for breast cancer care as well. Yeah.
Now, how much are you hoping to raise then in total?
We would love to raise over £150,000. In a dream world, it would be more than that. So once we get the money to get to the start line, it's all about raising money for charity, because in the end, this is not just 4 girls having a jolly across the Pacific Ocean. This is about raising money and raising awareness for these amazing charities.
Well, I'm sure you'll achieve your goals. Absolutely, positive about that. Now, what sort of your start is next year. Between now and then, what sort of hurdles have you got to overcome between now and then?
Well, the biggest hurdle we've got to overcome is finding the corporate sponsors that we need to actually get to the start line and get out to Long Beach, California. Of course we've got Doris, and we've managed to invest our own funds into her to make her, to get that up and running and have a boat. But we still have £200,000 to raise just to get to the start line. So corporate sponsorship is our biggest hurdle at the moment.
Yep. Now you've got hashtag buy a mile, haven't you? £10, and you get written on the inspiration wall that you'll take on board with you. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So for our 8,446 miles, we're hoping that we'll have 8,446 people buy one of those miles for £10, and then we'll write their name inside our cabin on the inspiration wall. Admittedly, they'll be quite small.
Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be a big wall, isn't it? Yeah.
But that's it. And there's a video on our website as well, which kind of explains that.
Yeah, and our top 50 donators will get their name in bigger typeface. So basically, just to say a bigger thank you for donating more money to get onto the inspirational wall. But it's a great, simple way, really nice way that you can help us get to the start line next year.
That's brilliant. So the website then, it's coxlesscrew.com, and I'm happy to say that that's hosted by Pickaweb, and that's how I spotted you guys. So we're very, very pleased and honoured to be sort of sponsoring the website, as it were, just host or the hosting of it. We didn't obviously design it. Your good friends there designed that, but I'm sure that you'll find the fundraising and once you get to that start line, you'll be all raring to go. As I say, we wish you absolutely all the best. It's a fantastic story, I think. And have you got anything else that you'd just like to add before we close?
Have you got anything now? So thank you very much to your kind selves for sponsoring the website hosting, which is very kind. And also, I hope that some people want to get involved and follow the journey. We're on Facebook and Twitter, so Coxless Crew.
Excellent.
Quite easy to find.
What I'll do is I'll put this on our I'll send this out to our customers, put this on our blog. I'll put all the details on there for people to make their contribution. And as I say, from all of us here, we wish you the absolute best. I'm sure you're going to do it. We're all behind you. I think it's an absolutely fantastic, motivating story, and really looking forward to for the updates.
Thanks
very much, Tony. Thank you.
Thanks very much, then.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.